Elon Musk in the news again? Shocking. A recent tweet of his has prompted a whole stream of responses. And while the CEO of Tesla and owner of Twitter is no stranger to controversy, did he actually say something anti-Semitic? Let's break it down. On May 15, 2023, Musk tweeted, "Soros reminds me of Magneto." Now, for anyone who's not an X-Men fan, I'm not. I had to Google Magneto. I'm sorry. Whatever, you could judge me. That's fine. But here's the deal. Magneto is a villain trying to conquer the world and destroy humanity in order to replace them with mutants. Okay, kind of an odd comparison, but Magneto, who is widely known to be Jewish, does share some biographical similarities to the real-life George Soros. One person on Twitter put it like this: fun fact, Magneto's experiences during the Holocaust as a survivor shaped his perspective as well as his depth and empathy. Soros, also a Holocaust survivor, gets attacked non-stop for his good intentions, which some Americans think are bad merely because they disagree with his political affiliations. To which Musk responded, "You assume they are good intentions. They are not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity." Okay. Musk later apologized on the thread, saying the tweet was unfair to Magneto. Yep, that's right. He apologized to the fictional character. Soon after the whole exchange, news broke that Soros' family fund had dropped its entire stake in Tesla stocks. So you can imagine Musk might have been feeling somewhat salty when he took to Twitter to post. It wasn't just his criticism of Soros. It was the specific wording of his claims that had many questioning his intent. It's important to note that this isn't the first time Soros has found himself at the center of conspiracy theories or anti-Semitic claims. On September 16, 1992, now known as Black Wednesday, Soros essentially broke the Bank of England by selling large amounts of pounds on the market when the currency was weak, causing its price to nosedive. While the UK was left in ruin and forced to leave the European exchange rate mechanism, Soros walked out of Black Wednesday with a hefty profit of $1.5 billion. 3 years later, a number of Asian currencies collapsed. The Malaysian Prime Minister blamed the collapse on Soros, despite his complete lack of involvement. "We do not want to say that this is a plot by the Jews," he said, "but in reality, it is a Jew who triggered the currency plunge. And coincidentally, Soros is a Jew." Through the years, Soros' influential contributions to politically liberal causes has attracted the attention of right-wing extremists who pinned him to a number of world events, like how he orchestrated the COVID-19 pandemic and the Black Lives Matter protests to enable the globalist takeover of America. Right. And white nationalists claim that he is funding the great replacement of white Americans with immigrants and people of color. A candidate for Minnesota's Secretary of State depicted him as a puppet master in her campaign video, suggesting that he secretly controls elections, and Fox News got in trouble for sharing a similar puppeteer cartoon. But it's not just the right-wing extremists who have argued about the importance of castigating Soros. Many Jewish leaders and writers find it incredibly problematic that Soros has funded organizations that attack Israel and Israeli policy. Should a person who funds organizations like that not be criticized because criticizing him can lead to anti-Semitism? So yeah, it's complicated. But back to the tweet. Yes, Musk compared Soros to a supervillain known for being Jewish. And yes, he claims Soros hates humanity and wants to erode the fabric of civilization. But are these just the ravings of an angry businessman who says what he wants to say whenever he wants to say it? Or is there something about Musk's choice of words that invokes or could invoke a deeper prejudice and hatred? There are multiple perspectives here, and I want to share them. Anti-Defamation League's CEO Jonathan Greenblatt immediately condemned Musk, claiming that Musk's comments will embolden extremists who already contrive anti-Jewish conspiracies and have tried to attack Soros and Jewish communities as a result. Even if Musk didn't intend to be anti-Semitic, comparing Soros to a Jewish supervillain amplifies the voices of anti-Semites, lending credence to their dangerous claims. U.S. Special Envoy Deborah Lipstadt agreed with the ADL's assessment. In her view, you'd have to be pretty blind to deny that many attacks on Soros rely on classic anti-Semitic tropes and rhetoric. And then there are those who agree with Musk, and are not those right-wing extremists I mentioned earlier. Amichai Shikli, head of Israel's Diaspora Affairs Ministry, defended Musk, tweeting criticism of Soros, who finances the most hostile organizations to the Jewish people and the state of Israel, is anything but anti-Semitism. Quite the opposite. Alan Dershowitz, one of the world's most famous writers against anti-Semitism and against anti-Zionism, agreed Mr. Soros is an active participant in politics, and his Jewishness shouldn't shield him from criticism. While Dershowitz wouldn't have portrayed him the same way Musk did, he admitted that he too felt that Mr. Soros' acts contribute to fraying the fabric of civilization. Even Israel's foreign ministry found itself divided on the issue, at first claiming that Musk's tweet smelled of anti-Semitism and immediately brought a flood of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and then later disavowing the need to defend Soros. So was Musk's tweet against Soros anti-Semitic after all? It's unclear, but I think there is a more important question here. Where does the line fall between legitimate criticism and anti-Semitism? Criticism is important. We need to critique one another, especially those in power. We also shouldn't be crying wolf or anti-Semite on every critical comment against a Jewish person, because then we risk minimizing actual harmful incidents of anti-Semitism. At the same time, if you find yourself veering dangerously close to historical anti-Semitic tropes or blaming an entire group of people for the actions of an individual who belongs to that group, you might want to take a second look at where your criticism is actually coming from. Uncle Ben said it best.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Words are powerful, even more so when they're coming from powerful people. And it's important to understand the context and possible impact of our words. Yair Rosenberg from The Atlantic put it this way: it's doubtful that Musk harbors personal animosity toward the Jewish people, and I agree. The arc of conspiracy is short and bends towards the Jews. That's the reality. The name George Soros is bound to make anyone and everyone have strong opinions, and he certainly makes things quite complicated for the Jewish people. That's for sure.